Con, and we are live. We are live. How's everybody's Sabbath going today? How's everybody's Sabbath today? There it is. There it is. It's my little thing. I'm gonna keep doing it too. Yeah, Lord willing, everybody's having a good Sabbath. Shalom to everybody online. Shalom to everybody online. Lord willing, y'all enjoying your Sabbath. Shalom to Holy Vessels of War, excuse me. Aaliyah, Cherish, Sister Odessa, Milka, Patricia, Hebrew to Hebrew. Shalom to everybody. I'm not going to be here before y'all too long, but today's lesson is about horoscopes, tarot card readings, and the ways of witches. Because a lot of our people fall into this trap, into this snare that is called horoscopes and astrology. And it has a grasp on our community, especially towards our women. And when you look into the scriptures, this is not our heritage. This is not our understanding. This is not our culture, but this runs rampant through our communities. Everybody's a big Pisces, everybody's a big Cancer, everybody's a big Taurus, but nobody's a big Israelite. And I want to get into it today, show the origin of it, show the history of it, and show that it is not of the Lord. And we're going to go from there. Let me get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
And the Lord is speaking to us directly because we are the house of Israel. Keep going.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
The Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. When we break down into this history, this is a Babylonian, an ancient Greek custom. This is not of the Israelites. This is not of our forefathers. This is what the people that are round about us did. But this is not of us. Can you read again, verse 2?
Verse 2. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
And don't look into the stars, into the moon and the sun and get amazed by it and get shocked by it. The Lord put it there for a reason, not to be worshiped. Let me get the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Shalom again to everybody online. Lord willing, y'all enjoy this lesson. Let me go from there.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
Nah, you're an astrologer.
We ought to obey God rather than men.
Nah, you're a palm reader.
We ought to obey God rather than men.
Me doing my research and looking at videos and looking at articles, a lot of people have replaced this theology and this understanding with the Father, because your horoscope is going to let you know why you're having a bad day or why you're prosperous this month. It's because the moon's full and it's the month of Cancer. The moon's in retrograde. That's why you're having a bad day. No, you're having a bad day because you got a shitty job. That's why. That's why you're having a bad day. Because your kid's not listening. It's not because of the moon. It's because of your actions. It's because of your sins. And it got nothing to do with the stars and the constellation. Zero. That's why we ought to obey God and know the rules and regulations instead of man, because man is always going to fail you. Let me get the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 14, excuse me.
This is the book of Deuteronomy.
Hold on, let me get this. My bad. Now you quick on the sword. That's good. All right.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 14. Ye shall not go after other gods, of the gods of the people which are round about you.
And I'm gonna explain this precept in my next slide, because this is how the other nations that were round about us, this is what they used the constellation for. They thought them as to be gods, but in reality, it's just signs. That's all it is. And I'm gonna explain that further into detail. But now I'm gonna share my screen. I want you to sit on Genesis 1. I'm gonna share my screen and show you guys a little something about the history of horoscope and astrology, where it comes from.
And while he's getting that, man, let me ask a quick question. How many of us in here used to follow that? Like, oh, I'm a Capricorn, I'm a Cancer, I'm a Leo. I used to do that, right? It's a common thing, right? It's a real common thing that a lot of people would do. All right, you see those videos online and they try to match what they sign, right? So well, I can't be with you because you a Cancer. All right, all those different type of things. But it's funny because in life, as we get into this truth, you kind of gotta take off the layers of your mind because you think that it's okay. And there's people that come into the truth or the faith and they feel like it's okay and this is what we do, right? But this lesson is important because now what we're going to get is the history of it so that you understand where it comes from and how it goes against and what the Lord wants us to do.
Right. Beautifully said. And I'm going to add on to that because a lot of our people make these horoscopes their whole personality. I can't be with you because I'm a Taurus. We're not compatible. What kind of not cuss? What kind of stuff is that? We can't be friends because you an Aquarius. You know how stupid you sound? I'm gonna be honest. That's idiotic. We're not friends anymore because our signs don't mix. Like, no, you're not friends anymore because you jealous of her. That's why. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's stop hiding behind stars and let's live in reality. Now, we're going to get the origin of the horoscope. This is natgeographic.com, nationalgeographic.com, excuse me. And Nat Geo need to do better. Every time I go to your website, I got to put my damn email in. Y'all going off. The ancient origins of horoscopes on National Geographic. It says the practices of astrology first originated in ancient Mesopotamia in the 2nd millennium BC in the city of Babylon, the city in the place known for idolatry. The stars and planets were used to interpret omens from the gods, says UK-based classic and ancient world expert Jasmine Elmer. So this is what they did. It originated in ancient Babylon, a place known for fornication and idolatry, and they used the stars and the planets to interpret omens or understandings from their false gods, from their idols. This is how it originated. And if you know the history, everything that was happening in Babylon is spread to Egypt, it spread to Africa, it spread to all the nations that are around about it. Everywhere we went, astrology and horoscope was prevalent. It might not have been on the forefront, but it was there. I'm gonna read on. It says, however, also some people were considered only some people were considered qualified to make these interpretations. And before I go forward, I was doing my research and I typed in psychic in Google, and a bunch of people's phone number popped up. And I called the woman. Her name was Sandra. Picked up the phone. How you doing? Like, sweet voice woman. But she revealed herself to be a devil. I'm like, so can you explain tarot card reading, psychic? Like, can you explain it to me? I'm like clueless. I want to know what's going on with it. She was like, well, first and foremost, you have to be born with it. Everyone's not qualified. I'm like, okay, so you have to be born with what? She was like, I found out I was a psychic at 8 years old. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, how does it work with the tarot card reading? She was like, well, the spirit guides me. And that's the one thing I've noticed about all the videos I've been watching. Everybody says the spirit, everybody's spiritual. But we're going to figure out what spiritual is in the scriptures. But she said, I was born with this talent, and I used the spirit to guide me through the tarot card and tell people what to do and give them warning on what things to come. That sounds like a damn witch to me. You was born with psychic abilities, and you tell people what to do through cards that people made in the damn factory shop, and then you give me instructions on my life. I can't get with it. I had to share that because I just dealt with that last week. It says, however, only some people were considered qualified to make these interpretations. Babylonian priests were tasked with the detailing how celestial bodies would impact society, especially the king and the state. So they would look into the stars and the planets and be like, look, king, it's going to be a rough winter. We need to get right this spring, this summer, this fall. Or they would do the vice versa. You know, they would look into the stars, into the heavens, and ask their idols and calculate their idols to see what's going on in the kingdom or the state. It said this is evident in the Uman Anu Enlil And when you look these up, these are false gods. These are entities in ancient Mesopotamia. These are their gods. These are their idols. These three names. And it says a series of 70 seraphim tablets that contain about 7,000 celestial omens. So 7,000, they got 7,000 interpretation from the stars, which they believe is from their gods, which we know is nothing. Reading on, it says the Babylonians developed 12 astrological signs, some of which later incorporated into the Western zodiac. However, it was the ancient Greeks who named the 12 star signs after constellations and linked them to specific dates based on their alignment with the sun's orbit. So initially, they weren't made for what we use it today in the Western Hemisphere. They were used for omens and calculating and getting understanding from their deities, from their gods, from their idols. But the Greeks took it and added to it and made it in what it is today. It says linked with specific dates based on their alignment with the sun orbit. These signs are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpius, Sagittarius, Capricornus, Aquarius, and Pisces. Furthermore, zodiacs originated from the Greek phrase zodiac kailos, meaning circles of animals. This is where it comes from. Now, I want you to read. Look, you jumped the gun. Let me get Genesis 1 and 14.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
So the Lord said, let there be lights in the firmament. And then the Lord goes on further to say, let the lights be for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years. And then some people are like, well, look, the Lord said for signs. No, numbnuts. The Lord used those signs for the summer solstice, for the spring equinox, to know when the spring is ending, when the fall is coming in, when the summer is ending, to give us, if we're out in the wilderness, we know what direction to go to, not to worship. He gave it for signs, for seasons, for years, for months. That's what they're there for, not to worship. Why would we worship the thing that's under our Father? And he sits on top of it. Keep reading.
Book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth.
And that's what they're there for. I don't know if you guys ever seen stars in its totality. You really can't see it in the city because of the lights and all the pollution. But when you go further up north or go further east and you stop in the middle of nowhere and it's nighttime, the Lord did his thing because the stars and the moon, they light up the whole area and it's beautiful. And I see why people fall into it. I see why. But when you know who you are and know what your heritage is and where you descend from, you're not going to fall over that. It's not going to be a stumbling block. We know what the Lord made it for. Keep going.
Verse 18, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good.
And it's just that simple. That's what the Lord made it for. But our people don't dive into the scriptures. This is the first page of the Bible. But you know what? It's so sad that our people don't understand that because everybody is clearly shown that our people don't understand because everybody's a big Taurus, everybody's a big Cancer, everybody's a big Capricorn. It's my birthday month. It's the month of Aries. But the Lord said it's made for signs, years, months, and seasons. That's it. Not to be worshiped, not to be idolized, not to be tatted on your back, not to make a whole personality of it. For real. So that's it for that. I'm gonna show this one now. So the origin of zodiacs, I'm just getting another source on it. It says astrology. This is Replo Globes. It says astrology, which can be loosely defined as philosophy of stars, has changed significant over time. It's hard to directly answer how old are zodiac signs because they are developed over time. The current iteration of the Western astrology is highly influenced by ancient Greek and ancient Babylon. In addition, zodiac history is primarily derived from mathematician and astronomer Ptolemy Terabielos, which was published roughly 1,800 years ago. This typically marks the beginning of astrology. You look this man up, real man, he was a Greek. He lived in Rome. This man is a real person, and he a mathematician, he's an astronomer. He's the one that took it to the next level. From the ancient Babylonians, when it came to Greeks, he added everything to it. Let me get the book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 5. Because the ancient Babylonians used it to interpret messages and omens from their gods, which we know that these gods are nothing. But I want to prove it through the scriptures. Bring it out.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
They're what?
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
So all that Enlil, Inky, and all that, what the Babylonians was getting up there and getting their omens from, that's nothing. But what?
But the Lord made the heavens.
The Lord made the heavens for seasons, signs, times, and months, and years. That's what it's made for. It's not meant to worship. It's not meant to bow down and, like I said, make personalities and tattoo it on your damn self. You know, I gotta rebuke my father because he got all our signs on his arm. I gotta rebuke him when I see him. I gotta get with him. I just saw that. I just reminded myself of that. I gotta get with him. I gotta talk to him. Yeah, read that again. 96 and 5.
The book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens.
And the Lord made the heavens. Go to Deuteronomy 4 and 13. Because the Lord is very specific. He lets us know what to do and what not to do. And it's just that simple. Of our people, the Lord said, choose life or death. Please choose life. I said before you life and death. Excuse me, this day I said before you life and death. And our people choose death. And this is the slow death. A lot of people don't understand that because this is idolatry. This is witchcraft. These are the things that the Lord is not pleased with, and our people dwell in it. Let me get start at verse 13.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 13. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. And he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. And
the Lord said he declared unto us his covenant. He didn't give us astrology or tarot card reading or palm reading or psychic abilities. No, he didn't give us that. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. Things to follow, things to have heritage and statutes and pass down from generation to generation. Keep going.
And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that you might do them in the land whither you go over to possess it.
And no matter where we go, this is where our heritage, this is our custom. This is what we're supposed to be doing as a nation of people. Keep going.
Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire.
So when the Lord presented himself to us, we didn't see no cows flying out. We didn't see no lions. We didn't see no two-faced women. We didn't see no bulls coming out of there. We just saw the Lord, and he gave us his understanding in the law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord said, take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for you saw no manner of similitude. We didn't see no Jesus fish. We didn't see no cross. We didn't see nothing. We saw the law, statutes, and commandments in the glory of the Father. That's all we saw. I don't know where our people get this from. You know where they get it from? They don't read their scriptures. They let their pastors lead them amok, and they lead them to the gates of hell. Read verse 15 again, please.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 15. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire.
The Lord came with nothing but the law, statutes, and commandments in himself. Keep going.
He says, lest ye corrupt yourselves,
like we have done,
and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female.
The likeness of male or female. What is the representation of these zodiac signs? The Gemini is a two-faced woman. The Virgo is a woman. But it gets worse as we read on. Keep reading.
The likeness of any.
And Salakia, the the beginning of verse 16 says, lest ye corrupt yourselves. Are we corrupted as a people today?
God.
Due to all this madness that's in the Western Hemisphere, which I believe it's a major thing that our people deal with is this horoscope. That's why I'm talking about it. This is a major a corruption amongst our people. Read it again.
Verse 16, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth.
The Lord said the likeness of any beast, any fish, anything that creepeth on the ground. Well, the Aries is a goat sign. Taurus. And remember, this all comes from the stars. This is what, and I'm going to show how where they get these things from. But the Taurus, the Aries, animal, Cancer, animal, Leo, animal, Scorpio, animal, Capricorn, animal, Aquarius, little vase, Pisces, animal. The Lord said you didn't see no similitude when I came and presented myself to you. So don't make these vain images. Don't get under these things. But keep reading, verse 19. If you got anything to say, you can say it, Ock, too.
No, I was gonna say too, because if you look at these images right here, right? So you got different beasts, you got different men and women that they idolize, but they create these figures from connections of the stars. So it's a cluster of stars that, from the human eye, from the earth, and you looking out, it look like they all next to each other. But these stars is hundreds of miles from each other, right? But they're connecting dots, right? They're connecting dots, and then they draw a line over it and be like, yeah, that's a line, right? Or they draw, for Aquarius, they got some type of god or deity, which is a man that they put over it, over those connections of stars. So they create the figure themselves when it's not even there, right? It's an imagination that they're creating. But go ahead. Oh, yeah, that's perfect right there.
That's perfect. That's what I was going to.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's beautiful what he said, because this is what they see in the sky. They see the Gemini. They see stars connected with each other, so it must be a two-faced woman.
And then if you look at the Leo, right? If everybody look at the Leo right there, you know what that's supposed to be? They said that's a lion right there. That do not look like no damn lion.
I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw it, I was like, damn, that's a horse. I don't know what that is. That's like a little, what they do at the little merry-go-round joint.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Or a Ben hanger, something like that. A hanger that's for a big jacket, but look, this is what happens when the heathens don't have a God, they don't have a power, they make shit up.
For real.
Look at Aries. A straight line with a crooked neck. That's a damn goat. That's a ram. That's tough.
The year of Aries is here.
It must suck to be a heathen, because this is what you left with.
Right.
But this is what our people worship.
Right.
This is what our people love. This is conversation starter 101. You want to get a bad one? Talk about it. You an Aquarius? In the world. Salakia. In the world.
You said a bad one?
Bad one. Welcome to it. What's your sign? Oh, I'm a Gemini. I knew you was a Gemini. The way you walk, the way you glow, you just got that Gemini. You just got that Gemini glow. That's a conversation starter, and it works. Keep it a buck. It worked. Excuse me. It worked. I don't do that anymore. Come on, but finish that verse 19. Excuse me.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 19. Unless thou lift up thine eyes into heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God have divided into all nations under the whole heaven.
The Lord said, when you look up and you see the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the hosts of heaven, you should not be driven to be worshiped. You should not driven to worship them, because they are for the nation. They are for the nation, excuse me. They are not for us. But what do our people do? They look up in the sky, they follow Babylonian customs, they follow Greek customs, and they get all these things worshiped in their households, in their mind, and amongst their friend groups. This is what has happened to our people. We have fallen to a low estate. And this is the beginning of Deuteronomy. The Lord's reiterating the law. I want to get you guys the punishment of these things, Let me get the book of Deuteronomy 17 and 2. Because my first time ever reading this scripture, I was like, damn, that's astrology. A lot of people should be put to death on that. First time reading, first time the Lord gave me this understanding, I was reading on my phone. And I was reading, I'm like, damn, that's astrology. Read it from verse 2, please. 2 to 5.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 2. If there be found among you within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy God given thee, man or woman, that have wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God.
What is it? What does the Lord call it?
That brought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God, and transgressing his covenant, have gone and served other gods and worshiped them, either the sun or moon or any of the hosts of heaven.
Or the host of what?
Any of the hosts of heaven.
Are the stars in the host of heaven? Keep reading.
Which I have not commanded.
The Lord did not give us this. When he came to us in the Mount Horeb, he did not come with constellations and astrology. Like I said, he came with law, statutes, and commandments. But the Lord said, if you're found worshiping the sun, the moon, and the stars, or any of the hosts of heaven, what's going to happen to you? Keep going.
Verse 4. And to be told thee, and thou hast heard of it.
And if I find out, keep going.
And inquire diligently, and behold, it be true.
And I'm not just going to take it for word value. I'm going to do some research. Because this is an important thing. If I find out you worshiping the stars, if you a big Capricorn, what's going to happen?
And the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die.
The punishment for being a big Capricorn is stones to the body until you pass away and you meet the Father. That's the punishment. Everybody that want to be big Capricorns in big areas, you wouldn't survive. Back in when we was leaving Egypt and we have Jerusalem set up, a lot of people will be finished. It'll be fatalities all around because that's all that's going around today. A lot of people need to understand and read their scriptures. And we know that we're not going to stone you today, but you need to repent. Why? Because if you don't repent and you stay in this lifestyle, if you stay in this way of wickedness, when Christ comes back, our King, you're going to be stoned with a sword. You're going to be burnt up with fire. You're going to be caught up in that day. And let's see if your horoscope can save you. Let's see if the moon in retrograde can warn you from that oncoming terror. Let's see if it can do that. Can it stop the Lord's terror? I don't think it. I not even think I know it can. Now I'm going to show you guys a video. Is it connected to the speaker? I would like it to be, but if it's not, it's all good. I know everybody's seen Young Bull before. More than likely or not. Is the Bluetooth on? I'm gonna wait because I want everybody to hear it. Sorry about that, family. Just a quick second. I would like everybody to hear it. There it is. Make sure it's not that loud, Armand, too. All right. It's not working? All right. Forget it. Forget it. It's calm. It's fine. Yeah. Hold on. Where would I go to that? Do it again. All right. My bad. My bad. Online. Can y'all hear it though in the school? I know it's kind of low, but got you. I should know this by now. All right, I'm gonna start it over. I'm just gonna keep going. Actually, I'm gonna bring out the point while I'm bringing this out. I'm bringing this out because he's talking to all daughters of Zion, and every single one knows what sign they are, and they love this. And I'm telling you, it's a conversation starter. That's what we should start doing on the street. What's your sign, sister? Oh, I'm a Libra. You know, you being a Libra, you an Israelite. Hey, we should. I'm gonna try that next week. I'm trying because it's. I don't know if y'all seen King of the Hill. I think it's a very funny show. Um, they was fishing and they couldn't get no fish, and they was like, you know what? How are we gonna catch these fish? And they put rock cocaine on it and they threw it in there, and the fishes were just coming. Astrology is like that. People get on that line. And I'm showing you guys how far people have been destroyed. This custom, this understanding, this ideology has come from the second millennium, from ancient Babylon, the first ever Nimrod's nation. Nimrod is found in Genesis 10. This is how far this custom has came, and it is still here and it's prevalent amongst our people. And our people eat it up. I promise you, go anywhere in the world. You could go to any continent. What's your sign? For real. I'm an Aquarius. I'm a Leo. Instantly, I promise you. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and we hang on to these non-tradition things, and we make it everything.
Sign. I could never. What's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
I could never.
That's your mom.
What's your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Never mind. When is your birthday?
February 24th.
I could never.
What's my sign?
Yeah.
Libra.
What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
I could never. We the same.
It's instant. I'm a Pisces. Ask him what does the Lord require of you is stuck on stupid. But if it's ask something about idolatrous ways, our people got it.
Our people be so connected to it, man. They look at their daily horoscope, right?
Gone.
How am I feeling today? It says I'm gonna have a good day. They come in and say, hey, I'm a Cancer, and they say I'm gonna have a good day today.
Man.
I'm about to accomplish all these goals because my horoscope told me that I'm gonna have a good day today. Don't mess with me today. I'm a Gemini, so don't mess with me today. I might be a little off.
My horoscope right. Says today's not my day. My horoscope says this ain't today. Today ain't today. What? Stop playing yourself. You said what?
Yeah, you said that's bipolar.
That part.
Hey, brother, it's not your horoscope, man. You got a mental problem.
Man,
right?
you gotta look in the mirror. Check yourself. It's not your horoscope. It has nothing to do with the time you were born. You angry because your house is messed up. Because everybody live in the same room. That's why you mad. You've been at the same job for 15 years at the same rate of pay. That's why you mad. It ain't because of your horoscope. That's why you live in a horrible city. That's why. The people I'm not even gonna get into all that. Nah, I'm not gonna go there. Yeah, but let me get the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. Our people need to stop blaming external things and look in themselves and correct themselves in the law of God. That's what we need to do. It ain't got nothing to do with your daily horoscope. It ain't got nothing to do with your local mind reader. It ain't got nothing to do with your psychic friend. It's you. You're bipolar. You have horrible people skills. You fight everywhere you go. It ain't because you're an Aries. Aries are naturally aggressive. No, you just can't talk to people, bro. That's the problem. You've been neglected as a child. Now you're mad as an adult. That's the problem. Not for real though. That's for real. Bring that out.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
The Lord said, because we have rejected knowledge, and knowledge is the understanding. The Lord said, don't worship the host of heaven. Don't make any graven images, but we do it anyway. So we rejected that. So what did the Lord say?
I will also reject thee.
The Lord has rejected us because everybody's a big Pisces. Everybody's a big Leo. Everybody wants to get their tarot card read. I was texting a friend. I was like, yeah, I'm teaching this week, whoop de whoop. And she's like, what you teaching on? I'm like, I'm teaching on horoscopes and tarot card reading. She's like, oh, can you read mine? I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, I'm teaching against it. It's manner and wickedness. She said, oh, I knew that. I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, all right. Read that. I will also
reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
The law of our fathers, Deuteronomy 4, Deuteronomy 17. The Lord told us not to do these things, but we forgot that. Keep going.
I will also forget thy children.
The Lord said he's going to forget our children. And look how it had happened. Everybody. You could go up to every single person at that party and they will give you an answer within a second. An answer within a second. I promise you that. Read that from the top again.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
And that has happened, and that is very prevalent within our nation. And that has happened. And that understanding has come from a long way, from ancient Babylon to Egypt to Africa to Greece, now to Babylon, aka America, and it's prevalent to this day. 2024 AD. It's still here, and it's live, and it's alive, and it's running rampant. Now, how many people know somebody that rock crystals? Because I know he's not even my friend anymore. It's just I know somebody. I'm gonna be honest. These crystals go hand in hand with horoscopes. Oh, hold on. Did I go too far? Let me touching stuff. Oh, there we go. All right. Forgive me. I don't know how to pronounce some of these stones. So this one, the amnesty crystal, it brings peace and spirituality. This is, can we get that? What's that? Romans? The law is spiritual. You know what I want? I think it's Romans 7. This stone brings you peace and spirituality, but not the laws of God. You can have this around your neck and you're a spiritual person. Madness. Can you bring that what actual being spiritual is?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
The law is spiritual, not having a damn stone around your neck, not having a stone at the top of your bed or on your light post. That's madness. This is idolatry. This is what brings you peace. A purple stone looked like it fit in a lightsaber. If y'all know, lightsabers get their color from stones. If y'all know, I know some of y'all ain't about that life. But another stone, green adventurer. This one brings you luck. It looked like black soap on the realest of keys. You know, this brings you luck, not Joshua 1 and 8. Good prosperity, clear communication, lapis lazuli. Clear communication with who? Because the devil answers prayers as well. So clear communication with who? Our people need to wake up, and these things are directly connected with horoscopes. And this, the tiger eye stone. Brothers ain't got this on the corner. We bold as lions. We got to be courageous. People pull guns on us. People pull knives on us. We got to be courageous. None of us rocking these stones. We rocking the spirit of the Lord. That's what we rocking. But people think these stones bring spirits, and they do. The wrong ones. The rose quartz brings love, but you still single. The clear quartz is amplification. I don't know. You can amplify the wrong things. Keep it a buck. Hey, that don't even look like a crystal. That look like something else. I'm gonna be honest. But we're not gonna get into that. Psychic ability. Sandra probably had this when she was on the phone with me. That's why I didn't want to talk to her too long. I was on the phone maybe a minute and a half because she might start telling me something. And I don't know. I'm going to have to pull up on her. I don't know. But she probably had this. I saw a video and a woman was doing tarot cards and she had a big blue stone next to her. I don't know what it was. But this hand in hand with tarot cards and horoscopes. This one brings positive energy. This one brings personal growth. The Malachite stone, selenite, cleansing negative energy. People pair that up with what is it called? Sage. Kyrie Irving probably got that one. Black tourmaline, purification and protection. Carnelian, vitality. What about the law, statutes, and commandments in the faith of Christ? That brings you everything. But our people refuse to acknowledge that.
And then also, if I can add too,
Go for it.
definitely when dealing with these rocks too, the main point is, why are people worshiping these things? This is our people's source of so-called energy that they use for everything they day in life, right? And they put their faith in it, right? But they don't put their faith into the Most High, who actually is the reason why these things are here, right? You might have, it's because it's not to say that certain rocks, because they're made up of minerals that give off a frequency. We know those things, right? Certain metals is going to give off a certain frequency. But is this your source of energy? Right? Is this the reason on why you getting good energies and good spirit? Because you got this rock that you carry in your pocket. All right. No, that's not the thing. It's the same thing for medication. When you're dealing with different herbs that you can use to heal yourself, was it the herb that healed you, or was it the Most High who healed you? Right? That's the thing, man. And this is the part where, like, it's funny because I deal with so many people with this, especially, certain relatives. They love this type of stuff, right? And this is the thing that they depend on. All right, you go in their room and they got rocks all around their bed, right? Right. So these things is good, man. This is good for us to know, because now you can educate your people. Okay, where did you get that information from? What God actually are you worshiping? Why are you calling yourself a Capricorn? Right? Why do you put your faith in that rock? Does it really give you good energy? Right? Who is the creator? And this all goes with that Romans 1:25. Right? If I can I get it real quick?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
This is a book of Romans chapter 1, verse 25. It says, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator? Right? We serve all these beasts. We serve all the stars, the constellations, the planets, right? We serve all these things, but the Most High is like, who changed the truth of him into a lie? Where now you're serving what I created, but you're not serving me, right? So this is good, man. Take notes and make sure that you share this with your families.
I'm glad you said that. Let me get Exodus 20:3.
Good point.
Because this is what our people are doing. We are substituting God for stars, for stones,
Right.
for things that the Lord has made. We are substituting our Father for these things that mean nothing. Keep going, bring it out.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
And that the Lord is saying, thou shalt have no other power before me. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt not reverence anything above me. And our people do these things. It's bad enough they bow down to the white Jesus, but now you got a damn stone on your neck, and you got Capricorn on your back, and then you go to church and say, Lord, protect me, but you put your trust in that stone. You put your trust in that horoscope. You don't put your trust in the Lord. Stop deceiving yourselves. This is the first commandment. This is in the 10 commandments, which everybody says we must still keep, but our people fall short of this. Read it one more time.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
The Lord is playing upon tables. Don't put nothing before the Father. Nothing. Even if it can cut off relationships with people, don't put nobody or nothing before the Father. Just that simple. Not even yourself. That's a great point. And I want to bring out some of the characteristics that these people bring out and say this fits these people.
All right.
Loyalty, ambitious, discipline, criticism. I know some disloyal MFs that is born in January. I know some ain't shit niggas that's born in January. I know some stubborn dudes that aren't born in January. My brothers. They stubborn as hell like oxes. And they born in July. Are they Capricorns? Hell no. They none of those things. But it's just showing you the traits. Let's look up another one. What's another one y'all want to look up?
Everybody talk about
Flexibility, sociability, intuitive, savvy, vitality, charisma, creativity, superficiality. I don't even know what the hell that means. Great sense of humor, curiosity, courtesy, curiosity. All these things, these are traits that everybody has, some greater than others. That's all it is. I'm curious sometimes too. I ain't no damn Gemini. I want to know what that tastes like over there. I want to know how fast that car go. I want to know if it's hot in Palm Springs or not. If they just pump faking on the news. You feel me? I want to know these things. I'm sociable. You know, to a degree. You know, I got charisma. I ain't no damn Gemini. I'm a regular guy. Horoscopes don't exist. These are everybody's trait. Everybody's charismatic. Everybody has charisma. Everybody's intuitive. Everybody is sociable to a degree. I saw a post. They said horoscopes don't really exist, which I agree. It's about the order of your family. Do you have brothers? Do you have sisters? Are you the middle child? Are you the only child? Are you the oldest or the youngest? The oldest, usually the leaders trying to boss people around. The middle ones are the negotiators, the one that's trying to make everything, please everybody. The young ones are the crash outs. Not because they were born in June at 3:15 p.m. That's madness. That's madness. Now we're gonna go forward. Just wanted to show that. I mean, we could show another horoscope as well if y'all want, but if not, we're gonna go forward. There it is. All right. So now we covered horoscopes. Now we're gonna go into tarot card reading. We do have a witch upstairs as well, just to let y'all know. But my cousin as well on my mama's side. It's always the mama side. That my cousin on my mama's side, she's a tarot card reader. I need to get with her as well. She's added to the hit list. Pops is on it. Cousin on it. I ain't gonna say her name because she get busy. She makes some money, but I gotta let her know she a witch. I gotta let her know. And she in violation. She in violation. I know a lot of y'all of the how can I say this? Of the older crowd know who this woman is. And we're gonna watch a little bit of Miss Cleo, the famous tarot card reader, and we're gonna get what actually being a tarot card reader is from the horse of the mouth.
You have questions. I have the answers.
Who asked you to go out?
You want to do it again? See if we can make it work or not?
Of town? The stupid young one or the married one?
The married one.
That's what I thought. Don't go. You hear me?
If you want him to believe that it's over, then you got to stop accepting the booty calls at 2 a.m. in the morning. You understand?
She said, if you want to know if it's over, you got to stop accepting the booty calls. That's just common knowledge. She was found out to be a fraud as well, but my first time really watching this woman, I was like, damn, I can see how she got people. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I can see it.
Yeah.
Could you tell me what type of direction is my life headed into?
Last 4 nights, your feelings have been hurt, so you've been up all night.
Yes.
You haven't been, and this is around a relationship.
Oh, Talk about it.
Okay, don't make me take you to church, young man.
The ex is much better than the present one, you know. Did you think that you were pregnant a couple of months back?
Yes.
You were, but you lost it, correct?
Yeah.
The secret that you were holding back.
You already hit it. It was about the baby.
Michael, you really got yourself into trouble on that one, brethren. I got backup this.
Salakia. Fair use for all the things that we have been showing so far. We're using this for educational purposes. This is for fair use. Thank you, Deshar, for letting me know. This is for fair use, educational purposes only.
Time.
This person is that's around you right now has been in jail before.
Yeah, you're right. You're telling the honest truth. You're right.
You know, people have been criticized and jabbed at and talked about.
That's enough. This woman is a tarot card reader, and there's hundreds of them. It's not as prevalent as we think, but these people are real. These people are witches, and the Lord said we need to get at witches on spot. But also, I want to show you and give you an example, not an example, but I was looking up what actually is a tarot card reader because I have no idea what these people actually do. But they said they explain a meaningful view of the past, provide some understanding of the present, reveals potential alternatives / possibilities for the future. So when I was reading that and I was thinking upon it, I'm like, first and foremost, who the hell they think they are? First and foremost. And secondly, these people think they're prophets or prophetess, and they're false prophets. If you could give me a meaningful understanding of the past, tell me why our people was in slavery. Tell me why we have gone through so many atrocities. Drop your cards and let me know. Please. Because I saw one, she came on here and she said, I don't know who my father is. Not who my father is. I don't know who the child of my father is. You going to a tarot card reader because you don't know who the baby daddy is? That's madness. You should know who you lay down with, who dropped seed in you. You should know that. That's Mando. But I want to know, can these tarot card readers let us know why our people have been at the bottom, why we are the tail, why we have went into captivity from country to country, from continent to continent? I want to know that. And then they said they could provide some understanding of the present. Why are we being gunned down in the streets? Why was that man on George Floyd's neck? Why are we segregated? Why are people at the border being ostracized and treated like animals? Can you give me can you drop the cards and let me know? Can you do that? And then they said they could reveal potential alternatives and possibilities for the future. So you think you're a prophet? You think you're a prophet? That's what I'm hearing. You think you're a prophet? Like I said in the beginning, can you remove yourself from the imminent danger that's coming ahead? Can you do that? And we're going to read the imminent danger in the scriptures, and it's going to happen. But before that, let me get the book of Hosea, chapter 9, verse 7. And I heard she wasn't even Jamaican. Yeah, she was Jamaican. I like that. The book of Hosea, chapter 9, verse 7.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 9 and 7. The days of visitation are come. The days of recompense are come.
The Lord said, your day, your time clock is coming. Keep going.
Israel shall know it.
And we are going to know. Keep going.
The prophet is a fool.
The what?
The prophet is a fool.
These are today's prophets, the horoscope readers, the tarot card readers, the mind readers, the palm readers. These are the prophets of today. They don't look at us as prophets. They look at us as crazy Negroes and Hispanics on the corners screaming nonsense. But when things start to happen, that's when they're going to come look for us. But it's too late then. You know what I'm going to tell them? Go to your tarot card reader. Go look at your horoscope and see why you're being persecuted in the streets and why you ain't got no food or water. Don't come to me. I know why. Because the Lord is coming. Because great tribulation must come upon the earth before the Lord comes and sets everything in order. Keep going.
The prophet is a fool. The spiritual man is mad.
And like I said, every time I was watching videos, it's the spirit. Where spiritual is spirit. No. To be spiritual is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments in the faith of Christ. That's a spiritual man and woman.
All right.
The Lord is saying mad, meaning crazy. So the prophet is a fool, and the spiritual man is crazy. These people are running rampant through our communities, lying to our people.
All right.
Let me get the book of Revelation 22. 22 and 14.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
Blessed are they that do his commandments.
That's how you become spiritual. Keep going.
That they may have right to the tree of life.
So we can have eternal life and live with our King forever. Keep going.
And may enter in through the gates into the city.
And you ain't gonna crawl in and go in. No, the Lord's gonna welcome my son. Welcome my daughter. Thank you for keeping the faith. Thank you for believing on me as it is written. You're gonna walk in through the gate like family because we are. Keep going.
For without our dogs.
And these are the ones that are outside. Keep going.
And sorcerers.
Miss Cleo, the woman upstairs. I hope she hears us. You know, my cousin, keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. She a witch. I can't wait to tell her. All the people that do horoscopes, I love her though. Don't get me wrong. I love my cousin. I love him, but I don't love him. I don't love him as much as the scriptures. Keep going.
And whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters.
And this is idolatry. This is putting something before the Lord. This is putting your trust in something else before the Father. Keep going.
And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
And whoever loved Miss Cleo's lie, and whoever loved the horoscope lie is not making it into the kingdom of heaven. It's just that simple. And if you're the one that's reading the palm saying, I see money in your future, you making the lie. The Lord's not dealing with that. You're going to get got. It's just that simple. You want to say anything?
No, I was going to say it'd be funny, man. Them tarot card readers, they roll their eyes back and move the cards around. And it was like, I could see you had some hard trauma in your life.
Haven't we all?
What black and brown person hasn't had trauma in their life?
That's the thing. They play on common things. Everybody has had trauma. Yeah.
I could tell you had no father. 50% of us didn't have a father.
Right. Until somebody says, well, yeah, I did have a father. Oh, maybe your grandfather. Maybe
Did your father have his father?
Right. Big head ass.
Yeah, not for real. Off of reactions. Yeah, that's all it is.
I want to show you guys another video. Fair use again. For educational purposes.
Time now for our fourth.
Fair use. Once again, this is for educational purposes. I want to show you guys another video, and this is not just something to brush over. This is something that's actually ramping up amongst our people. Once again, fair use. This is for educational purposes.
The culture segment, where we put a spotlight on underreported issues in the communities of color across the Charlotte area. Religion, a big part of many cultures, but especially in the African American community. Wake Up Charlotte's Billie Jean Shaw says more and more folks are practicing it in a less traditional way.
Their life matters.
Religion is known to form the foundation of the Black community, especially in the South. The Bible Belt, where church just isn't a place, it's a lifestyle. That's exactly how Aris Cole grew up.
My aunt was a pastor. My grandmother was on the usher board, so they kept me in a Christian faith.
A recent study by Pew Research shows 8 in 10 African Americans self-identify as Christians. But now, more and more younger African Americans say they're not affiliated with just one religion.
There was just so much more to me than what the box that I felt that they couldn't find me in.
That's when Cole opened the door to spiritual readings, meeting Boots Durango.
How you doing, baby?
A celebrity tarot card reader from Charlotte.
With a question or a concern from a client, I do get inklings, I do get intuitive feelings.
Boots discovered his gift before the age of 8.
This might be a product or something on the side that we want to work with.
And even though he was raised on Christian beliefs in the church, his family embraced his special talent.
It was a spiritual family. They groomed the gift, and then I became this fabulous version of myself that you see today.
3 years ago, he began displaying his gift to the public, reading more than 75 celebrities, building a clientele of more than 3,000 people, most of them African American women who have turned away from traditional religion. New research shows Black millennials are turning to more spiritual practices, a sacrificial choice for many.
And I can tell you that I've probably lost 50% of my family, and I'm comfortable with that.
Boots says a common misconception is that he and his clients don't believe in God.
Spirituality and religion get lumped together. My relationship with God has nothing to do with the door that I use to access God. We do not.
This guy. He said, my relationship with God, first and foremost, you ain't got no relationship with the fathers. You don't know him at all. You know Satan, and that's what it is. He said, it doesn't matter what door I go to, I'm still getting to him. Can we get the book of John, chapter 10? Hold on to that Deuteronomy. This is what our people are doing. They're leaving the church, which is a good thing, but then they run to the transformer tarot card reader. How does that make sense? They run from the church, all praise to the Most High, and then they run to the transformer that's born with a gift and has these spiritual inclinations. And we don't worship the devil. I worship Christ. No, you don't. I have a relationship. No, you don't. You don't know the Father. You are far from him. You are far from him. And he said, as long as I use a different door, it's just I still go to him. All right, let's see what the book of John says. Bring that out. 10:1.
This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber.
The Lord says, if you don't enter in through this door, how do you enter in through this door? Is by becoming a new person. Is by repenting, changing your ways, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, keeping the faith of Christ, and believing on him as it is. That's the door you walk through to get to the kingdom of heaven. Not the back door, not the door on the side. The door on the side and the back door leads you to the lake of fire. Can you read that one more time? Because when he said that, I thought of this precept instantly. Read that one more time.
This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold.
He's saying I can use any door I want. I still have a relationship with Christ. The Lord said, if you enter not into this door, keep going,
but climbeth up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber.
He's a thief and a robber, and he ain't making it. He a liar. The Lord not dealing with that. The Lord is not dealing with that. Damn sodomite, crazy word. Leading our people further. I'm gonna be honest, they should have stayed in the church instead of going to that bozo. Keep it a buck. Yeah, Zakar, hey, Lob said, I just reiterated, not the back door is crazy. Let me get the book of Deuteronomy 18:9.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations.
The Lord is letting us know. Can't text me, Jashai, you gotta stop. The Lord is letting us know when we come into these lands, don't follow after the other nations. He reiterates that over and over and over and over again. But our people do it anyways. I was on Instagram and I sent a video to a shire. It was like about the Israelites disobeying the Father. The Lord was like, the meme said, just listen to me, disobey me. And the meme was like, no, like it's an Israelites and a man screaming like, we had never listened, Father. We're obedient. I'm gonna send that to the men's chat so y'all know what I mean. But our people do not listen to God. We have not listened for years and thousands of years. And that's why we're always in the same predicament in the hands of the enemies. Because we want to be a big tourist, because we want to read horoscopes, because we want to read tarot cards. Madness. Pick it up.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 10. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or
and divination is talking to or getting a message from omens or from spirits. It's talking to the other side. Keep going.
Or an observer of time.
An observer of what?
Of times.
That's somebody looking up into the sky and calculating shit. Oh, you act like this because you were born 7 p.m. on a Thursday in the month of Taurus. That's why you act like that. Madness. The Lord said, don't do these things. Don't be an observer of time. Keep going.
Or an enchanter.
Like Miss Cleo.
Or a witch.
Like the woman upstairs.
Or a charmer. Or a consulter with familiar spirits.
And these people and these things are really, we was having this conversation in the car driving back from street teaching or driving to street teaching, that these things are real. The left-hand side is real, that these people can conjure up spirits and give answers, but it's from the devil. It's not from the right-hand side, it's from the left hand. And we have accounts of that in the scriptures. I'm not going to go into that. If y'all want to see that account, that's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 28, 3 through 14. That our King Saul went to the left-hand side. I believe she was a necromancer, and he had her summon up our prophet Samuel. That really happens. These things are real, and these people actually practice witchcraft and dark magic, and the Lord is going to kill their ass if they don't repent. It's just that simple. Can you read verse 11 again?
God. It says, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord.
And it's just that simple. You're detestable. You are in violation if you are doing these things. It's just that simple. Keep going.
And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee.
And the Lord said, look, I'm going to look out for you because I know these things are a snare and these things are a problem. I'm going to move them away from them. I'm going to move them away from you. Don't go after them. And our people go after them. Our people went after them. They hold on to these things for dear life because these are their gods. Let me get the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Almost done, family.
Now I was going to say there was a point on here in Deuteronomy 18. I'm going to read verse 14 and 15 real quick. So Deuteronomy 18, verse 14, it says, for these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners, right? But as for thee, the Lord thy God have not suffered thee to do so. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee. So the Lord basically is telling you, like, you don't got to worry about that. I'm going to raise up a prophet that's going to come from your bloodline, from your seed, from your brethren. All right. So that's a good one. Make sure
that's a great point. I'm glad you read that. The Lord is saying, you ain't got to look up to the skies and go to these witches and warlocks. I'm going to send one from amongst your brethren, and he's going to speak my words. That's beautiful. I'm glad you read that because I did not read that. I'm glad you read that. All praises. Let me get 2nd Ezra 15 and 1 and read to verse 9.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears.
Salakia, before I bring this out, I want to give context of why I'm bringing this out. Remember what we said, the tarot card readers, the horoscope people, they give examples and meaningful views of the past. They provide some understanding of the present, reveal potential and alternative possibilities for the future. Well, let's see if you can reveal an opportunity for the future for this. And when you're in the situation, let's see if you could get out of this, because this is going to happen. We was talking about this at New Moon, and my brother Kala brought it out, and I was like, damn, I gotta read that. And I read it the other day. I'm like, woo, can they escape this terror? Can they escape this devastation? Can they throw their cars down like Yu-Gi-Oh and be like, I'm good. I'm a navigate. I'm gonna go left instead of going right. The Lord said, the day of the Lord is like running from a lion. And then when you get away from the lion, it's like running away from a bear. And then when you get away from the bear, you lean your hand on the wall because you're tired, because bears run 40 miles an hour. When you get away from it, you're going to get bit by a very dangerous snake. And you're going to die. That's the day of the Lord. Bears are fast, I'm going to be honest. Especially the women. The women bears, they get up. I ain't going to hold you. The women bear. They get up, but read that.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Right.
And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Not like the Lord's prophecy is faithful and true, but not like the horoscope people and not like the tarot card readers. But the Lord's prophecy, what he says, is faithful and true. Keep going, and this will happen. Keep going.
Verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
The Lord's saying the ones that up against you, don't worry about that. Don't sweat it. It's always going to work out. You put your faith in me, you're going to be Gucci. Keep going.
For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
And all the unfaithful, there's all the people that worship these stars, that put their faith in all these astrological things instead of the Father, they're going to die in their unfaithfulness. They're going to be caught up in that day, worshiping Buddha, worshiping the Ouija board, worshiping the stars that the Lord put in place for something different. And in that day, in their unfaithfulness, they're going to get caught up and they're going to get smoked. It's just that simple. Keep reading.
Verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
The Lord said, wickedness have polluted the whole earth. Like I said, horoscopes and these vain traditions came from the second millennia in the time of Nimrod. And it has stayed alive, and it has made its way to 2024 AD. That pollution has corrupted the whole world, and has corrupted the minds of our people. Keep going.
Verse 7. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
Jump down to 14.
Verse 14. Woe to the world.
The Lord said what?
Woe to the world.
Destruction to the world. Keep going.
And them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
The Lord said the end is near. For all the ones that sow wickedness, all the ones that are polluted with all this madness. The end is near. Keep going.
And one people shall stand up to fight against another.
And in that day, people are going to rise up against each other. And it look like it's starting to happen. Mr. Trump got today. He got today. That's going to stir up the left side against the right side. It's going to start some smoke. This might be sooner than later. This might pop off next week. Read it again.
Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
So they're going to be going towards each other's house. They're going to be taking each other's things. They're going to be killing each other. These things are going to happen. Keep going.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
They're not going to worry about the governors. They're not going to worry about the presidents. They're not going to worry about the senators. It's about, do you got bread and you got water? I need that. My kids is crying. Anarchy is going to be in the streets. I tell the dude at my job, I'm like, look, bro, like y'all think this country is going to last forever. You need to get ready for World War III, and you need to repent and get ready for the return of the king. Our people, Christ is so far from their mind. And it's going to be very far from their mind when they hungry and they haven't eaten in 3 days. And then you got people chasing you because they heard you got something, but you ain't got nothing. But you afraid, so now you running and they chasing you. Now you even more hungry, nigga. It's going to be up. My bad. It's going to be up. Can you read verse 16 again?
Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
That man is going to want to go into Gardena. He's going to want to go into Compton. He's not going to be able to. The street's going to be blocked off. The freeway is going to be packed with cars that just got abandoned. I know y'all seen that movie. What is it called? Leave the World Behind. It's gonna be like that. All the electricity gonna be cut off. All the Tesla's gonna be running rampant. Get a new car, Kurt. Everything's gonna be happening. What you gonna be doing? Yeah, his car. You gonna be nah. Lord will. Hey, look. Lord willing, everything works out for the Curtis. But all these things are gonna be happening in the city. You're gonna desire to go to Bellflower and you can't. You're gonna be desiring to go into Venice Beach and you're not gonna be able to. There's gonna be hundreds and thousands of people marching this way. You're gonna have to dip that way. And when you go that way, it's gonna be nothing but burning cars. These things are gonna happen. Can your tarot card reader deliver you in that day? Can your horoscope reader deliver you in that day? That's my question. I'm gonna ask my cousin that. I'm gonna read this to her. Lord willing, she listens. Oh yeah, in the bodies as well. The Lord said to the animals in the book of Revelation, come and enjoy this great feast. All the animals of the earth, all the animals of the air, they're gonna come and devour all the bodies. It's gonna be a feast. A man is gonna desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. The 405, y'all think the 405 is bad now. All right. Read 17 again and stop at 19, please.
Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
And everything's going to be in crumbles because men's pride. Keep going.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
And they not, I don't care if he's 16, 15, I need what he got. I don't care if she got 3 kids to feed, I need what she got. They over there, I see them bringing in groceries every week. I need it. In that day, it's gonna be mano y mano, dog eat dog. It's gonna be that day. But when you keep the commandments, you keep the faith of Christ, you ain't got to worry about that. The Lord's gonna keep us hid from that. People gonna walk right by your house. People gonna walk right by your car. People gonna walk right by your tent because you're gonna be pilgrims in the earth. They're not gonna look at you. Why? Because you're protected by the Father. You're protected by the angels. Why? Because you've been faithful all the way up until that day. Keep going.
Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Because of the lack of bread and great warfare that's in the street. I know y'all seen when COVID officially hit, toilet paper was gone. Water was gone. Everybody is in. It looked like people belonged on SpongeBob. They got helmets on, gas masks, duct tape on their faces. Like, what the hell's going on? Everybody and their mama got a mask on. It was crazy. It was crazy, but it's gonna be 100 times worse when the freeways is locked. Y'all think Crenshaw and Western and all these streets are bad now. Imagine when nobody's moving an inch, you got to get out your car and you got to run. That's going to be a hell of a thing. And like I said, can your horoscope, can your tarot card readers, can your palm reader deliver you in that day? Brother Kurt?
Con, and when all these things happen, also, I don't know if you had a scripture written down, but Proverbs chapter 1, verse 26, you know what I'm saying? Christianity and our people, they believe that the Lord is going to, try and save them, but he's going to be laughing at your calamity, you know what I'm saying? And in that day, yeah, I don't know if you wrote that scripture down.
No, but that's good. Bring it out. Great point. Yeah, you're right, Sister Aaliyah. People was in hazmat suits in the grocery store buying tuna. Can you imagine that? It ain't that deep, bro. It ain't that deep, bro. Hazmat suit getting a loaf of bread. Bring that out. Proverbs 1:26.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 26.
Salakia. Verse 24.
Yep. Verse 24. Because I have called and ye refuse.
And the Lord has been called. We are the Lord's messengers. We are the Lord's angels. We are sent out there to warn the sheep. Our people, the Lord is calling our people through us. But what are they doing?
Because I have called and ye refuse.
Uh-huh.
I have reached out my hand.
Stretched out.
Salakia. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
Uh-huh.
But ye have set at naught all my counsel.
And this is the counsel right now. Put the idolatry down. You're no longer a big cancer. You're an Israelite. We don't have those customs. That's not our traditions. That's not our heritage. Put that stuff down. Keep going.
And with none of my reproof, I will
And
also,
none of them wanted correction. You can't tell a sister she's not a Virgo. I fit all the characteristics. Every time my horoscope says something, I feel the same exact way. You can't reprove her. Keep going.
but ye have set, Salakia. Verse 26.
Uh-huh.
I
Verse
also,
25.
verse 25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
The Lord said when the freeways is jammed up and you run out of bread, that's the day you're going to put down the horoscopes, but it's going to be too late. The Lord's going to laugh at your calamity. He's going to laugh at your distress. Why? Because you forsook his counsel for years and years, 40, 50, 60 years of your life. You ignored the Father. And when it's time for judgment day, oh no, I'm ready now. It's too late. Let's go meet the maker. Let's go. Let's rewind your life and see where you messed up at. And see how many times you ran across the prophets and the angels of the Lord. How many times you ignored them. You don't have time. Like the sister today. We were trying to talk to her. She ignored us. Walked across the street, want to start yelling at the top of her lungs, shaking her ass with a John 3:16 hat on, but she ain't got time. Sister, how you doing? Sister, how you doing? Ignoring us, but get across the street and get bold as a lion now. Madness. In that day, the Lord's going to rewind that and be like, why did you ignore them? They were doing everything I said. They were crying out loud. They were sparing out, but they were trying to give you the gospel of Christ, but you ignored it. Let me get the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 10. Great precept, Kurt. This is my last precept. Nah, for real. That really happened today, a couple hours ago. And then when she was done shaking her ass, excuse my language, she got in the car and she was making a left-hand turn onto, what's that, La Brea, and she out the window yelling all type of nonsense. Madness. With a John 3:16 hat on. The church has failed our people. Bring it out. 10 to 13, please.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me.
The Lord said, you trust in your wickedness. You think you could count your tarot cards in the middle of the night and go to read your own palm and see what, and looking up on the horoscope? You think you could do that? You trusted in that wickedness. Keep going.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. And thou hast said,
that wisdom that you gained from that wicked witch on Western, it has perverted you. Keep going.
And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee.
And in that day, that evil is going to come upon you.
Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee.
And the Lord said, you're not going to know when it rises. You'll be like, damn, I thought I was protected. I thought I had the crystals. I thought I had everything. Keep going.
Thou shalt not be able to put it off.
You're not going to be able to shake it off. Your enchanters, your tarot card readers, your horoscope people, your palm readers, they're not going to be able to help you in that day. You're not going to be able to shake that desolation off. Keep going.
And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments. And
the
with
Lord is saying, don't come towards me. Stand on business. Stand with your enchantments. Keep going.
Waving the crystals and the sage.
Stay with them crystals. Stay with the moon of Aries. Stay with that. Keep going.
Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Stand on business. You've been a psychic since 8. Stand on that. Don't run now. Stand on it. Keep going.
If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail.
The Lord's like, look, You should be able to profit from it. You're going to be able to prevail. Stand with your enchantments. Stand with it. Keep going, but it get better.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers,
let now the who?
The astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
The Lord saying, let your astronomers, let your monthly calculators save you from this hell that's coming. Because I'm not going to do it. I'm sending it. Let your astrologers, let the stargazers, let the monthly protagonators stand up and save thee from the things that shall come upon thee. The Lord talking smack.
Yeah, bro.
Let these things that you trusted in from your youth up save you. Because I'm sending the danger. Let's see if you could deliver yourself from it. Our people need to repent. And like the sister said, yeah, they do all these things, and then they go to church the next day. Madness. Double-minded. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father. It was only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, we had a little fun with this. Just wanted to show our people where we're in error at, and we need to come correct to the Lord before it's too late. You know? And with that, I want to say shalom. Shalom to everybody online. Lord willing, y'all enjoyed the video. And until next time, family, enjoy the rest of your Sabbath.